Good afternoon. This is Navy Old Salt Gamer. I am back on the Venus, where I have made substantial progress. And unfortunately there's a storm right now, but I'll cover what's going on in here. So far today I've gained 7 liters of water, and that was while I was doing a ton of automation. This is all automated. I don't have to turn this on and off anymore, so that was a simple thing. This I can get rid of, although I may hook that back up. I'm not sure yet. I may wait. But and I might as well take this off while the storm's on. Basically everything is automated all the way around except the greenhouse. I have to manually pick things yet. Everything upstairs is completely automated. Even the power, which was a kind of a pain. But the programming was easy. It was a pain turning that thing on and off. When I finally worked it out, I don't have to touch it anymore. But at one point I had 78 liters of water. I got 80, we'll say 81 in there, and we'll say 9 there, so 90 liters. So I've gained 12 overall, and that is while I haven't been running totally efficiently. I have to do mining and all sorts of programming and other things while all that was going on. So let me wait out the storm, and I'll go up and show you. Now the storm is going to mess a couple of things up, because the storm makes it 100 Celsius cooler. And I'll show you why that's going to mess it up, because it's going to cool things down in an unintended way. Well, I'll explain it to you in a little bit, but I'll come back. Okay, so
low pressure, oxygen critical, pressure critical,
it helps to put
temperature critical,
your helmet on.
High, low pressure.
Yeah.
Oxygen low.
Where's my oxygen? Well, anyway, all these strange things that happen. I'm just going to pop the battery in here while I'm down here. Okay, so automation down here. I finally had to fill my tank, my propellant tank, so I got that down here. I added some more over here, and that helped balance the power out. But now this is going to be fully charged, but I have set up a program to automatically feed the generator when this gets to 60% with the charcoal that I'm producing up here. So that's all working real good. Now the major thing I did is I finished the 8 ACs here, so that's working very well. And somebody was going to tell me one of the things I haven't done yet, the only ingots or special ores or special ingots that I've used so far is electrum and solder. So I have not had to make anything. I have no mods on my manufacturing stuff. I'm still at the starter level 1 ones. But this might be different now. It is. It's a lot cooler because of the storm. But as you can see, my ACs usually keep this around 50 degrees, but the storm cooled it down significantly. But because of condensation, even with this at 50, this tank is at 25. And I can regulate that. This should start coming back up, I think. Isn't yet. So I might have to watch. It'll probably take a while for... I call it centipeding because I don't know what other kind of word to use. But the temperatures have to work their way up and down this network, and it kind of goes back and forth until it stabilizes. So I call it my mind centipede. But basically, I had this before the storm kicked in. Yeah, it's starting to go up a little. Where I have this speed rate set to where the ACs are keeping this at a constant temperature, and because there's the condensation in this loop, keeps this at a good temperature. So technically, I had this where I just turned it on and it's at 1, and I was just constantly draining the water into my tanks. There was another 1.5 liters from the time the storm was on. So, all automated. The centrifuge is now working correctly. The problem I had is I was counting what it was processing as regions, when that is not the case. The biomass is the region. So that's where I screwed up there. So when the biomass has reached 50, it dumps it into the furnace automatically. I took this stacker out. I was trying to stack this to 20 without realizing potatoes can only, to 50, without realizing potatoes can only stack to 20. You can't stack potatoes to 50. So I was like, well, that's a waste of power. Let's rip that out. Programming wise, let's go through my programming real quick here, because I did a lot of work on this. Now let's see, this is main control. I gotta be really careful here because I got 3 main 2 control, right? Yeah. So I want to re-import that yet because I was working on a different one. Alright. So the arc furnace is the same, recycler is the same. Now the solid generator is new. The generator stacker is kind of the same. The H2 pressure is different. H2 regulator, all that's in here now. The gen stacker, this is where I set up the mud. I don't even need that anymore. Once it's set, it's good. The arc furnace, still the same. All this JALs and RAs back, and it just loops. The recycler, no, I kind of don't need that. That's all automatic. Now I'm thinking about it. I'll have to think about that. I think I can delete that. The solid generator. Now here's where I did a change. I also added in here, if the charge is greater than 60, bypass the rest of it. If it's less than 60, then it does the program where it puts one in every 3.5 seconds. Right here. And what it does is it loads one. It goes up to about 60.5, and then it'll just keep, the normal program going until it gets below 60 again. That's just my pressure regulator for my input to the trying to think where this is at now. Did some changes here. Turn on. Yeah. It's just a pressure regulator to keep the pressure at 1000 going into my mixer. So that keeps that kind of constant, otherwise things get kind of screwy. So that one's kind of the same. Empty control. This is where I put this in. I couldn't really put this in with the other one because of the loops I have in there. So this is a real short one. Basically, this was where I was screwing up. Regions are the biomass, not the region mix. So I put in here when it's greater than 49 empty. Empty just sits here for 80 seconds. I could probably lower that. I've been lowering that pretty steadily. And then it closes it and it just loops. So it dumps whenever it gets to 50 biomass. Pretty simple. And then this one is the confusing one, the one that I worked on big time. This is water control. Now I can change this at this point because I have this set up to automatically dump the water when it gets to 303 Celsius. But I don't need to do that anymore because basically I just turn it on and off as long as there's fuel. That's basically all I need to do now. It just runs itself. Because I figured out while playing around that the temperature stabilizes with the ACs on. It's still too cold, so I may have to up this. But that's still right at 22, so maybe I won't. But the ACs are just keeping this down to nothing. I mean, I could turn these up. I probably should. But I also have 2.38 kilomoles of volatiles by throwing potatoes in there. So I basically, I'm still fine-tuning this. I need to decrease the hydrogen. What I should do is increase the pressure in that tank so I don't have to keep messing with it. But it's close enough. I mean, as you see, I got 0.83. It's about this 1-to-1 ratio left over in here, which decreases your efficiency. You really need, 3-to-1. And what happens is you dump a bunch of extra volatiles in here. There's actually more oxygen than volatiles in here. Now, if that got to 300 degrees, I think it is, that would be a problem because this would auto-ignite. A little bit. The ratios aren't right, but you might have an issue. And I think I am. I'm going to up this to 5. So when I do 5 here, I have to do 2 here. Don't ask me why. 841. Yeah, I might have to do another one. 10. See, that keeps it pretty even. Now my volatiles have come down to a reasonable level also. That's a good mix right there. Okay, 20. Now that should bring this temperature up a little bit, which is fine. Because this is still holding pretty good. I'm actually pumping all the water out here, so I have no idea unless I go downstairs how much water I'm making. I just got to watch this temperature. I may change my code to shut this pump off if it gets to maybe a little over 30, but it seems like it's okay. But as this goes up, ultimately this will go up. There's a balance that I have to reach. So far it's pretty stable. I don't want to go too much higher here. But basically all I do now is throw potatoes in. Everything runs itself. Which is my ultimate goal up here. Power wise, I'm doing better. I could add, and I probably will now that I have the time to do it, one more row of, and all I have to do is add 8 frames and then a couple cables. One more row of these. But I do have, I have no way of knowing how many charcoals I have in here. It's got to be quite a few yet. But I don't know what you think. I'm surprised that this water temperature stays so stable because of the condensation. It keeps it cool. I don't want to go much higher. I could go to 25, but I'm afraid if I go much higher, I'll lose the bubble, as we say in the submarine world. You lose the bubble, you lose depth control. I'll lose temperature control. So I think I'm just going to leave it just like that. Let me know what you think. I mean, surprisingly, it took me a while, but I've got this sorted out. And again, I don't know how much water I'm gaining because I'm draining it, but if you watch it, it goes up pretty steadily. And that might affect the temperature also, so I'm just going to leave that on. But, so, completely automated with the exception of the greenhouse, which is next on my list. I'm going to add Larry's down there, so I don't have to do anything with water generation. I'm just going to let the world run itself and 22.1 and do what else I can do here. I mean, I don't need trading. I'm surviving pretty well. The only other thing, if I get enough volatiles, I might steal some of them to make an advanced furnace so I can go a little further, because without the advanced furnace, I'm kind of stuck at this level. And I have no more biomass, so it's time to throw more potatoes in, but I don't know if they're even ready. They should be ready by now. I hope you could figure out what I did here. It makes perfect sense to me. But, yeah. It makes perfect sense to me. I know what exactly is happening here. That's just my pressure regulator. That's keeping it at 1,000 or 1 megapascal. Now I think the reason I have these set different, this one's set at 4, I believe, 5, and this one's set at 15. Because this is getting sucked off by this one first. So I have to keep this one higher, that one for the upper one, 799. That's almost perfect. I am a little tick low on volatiles, but if I raise that, then I'm going to go high on volt. So maybe that's my next step. And I went down 0.1 degree. I did turn that on, right? Wow, I must really be making it now because it's not going down. I have it set for 1, it was going down. Oh, I guess that's what I'm making every tick now. But I was thinking I was going to have to let this build up, cool it, drain it, and start the process over again. But if I can just sit here and let this run ongoing like this and throw potatoes in, I mean, can't beat that with a stick. Looks like I have to raise it 1 notch. Well, I'll probably go the other way if I do that. So let's raise this to 6, and raise this 1, 2, maybe 3, 852, yep, 3, 820, 830, going down, 836, that's about as close as I'm going to get it. Again, I could up the volatiles just a tick. But if I put 0.089 moles of oxygen in here every time, I'm not too concerned. But there you go. Tell me what you think. I mean, this is, well, it's kind of a, and I've gotten to be an expert farmer. Ooh, wait, I could use a little wind here. When it comes down here, I've got in a routine of clicking that, changing my battery. Waiting, waiting, waiting.
Oxygen low.
Yeah. Because I'm sitting in there.
Hydration critical.
Time to drink. And let's do my routine here. Pop that. And swap that. Keep that so I don't have to worry about it. Now, it should be about 20, 19.1, so that's pretty good. And the CO2, that's automated with one exception. Well, that's a lot of cooking there. Every once in a while when I come down here, I have to pop this up or down. 19 is fine. Anywhere between, anything above 10 is fine with me. Temperature's perfect. And then these should be in seeds. Oh, they're not in seeds yet, so I can't load anything yet. Some of them are. I'll wait until they're all seeds, because otherwise it just messes it up. So, there you go. I can survive without a trader on Venus at the standard level. I'm still going to play this a while. I want to get this automated. I have 120, I believe. That's going to be a lot of rows of Harveys, or Larrys. Now, do I need 120? Maybe I'll just go with 20, or 100, I mean. But still, 12, you can do maybe 12. Nah, I could do more. I'll have to think about it. Do loops. Maybe there's going to be 5 harvests. Now there's a problem, or there's a problem with that. Berries require special orders. Then they can steal. Oh, it's the dock. The Larry dock that requires really weird ores. I mean, I don't know why they did it this way. Inconel Hastel and Astroloy. Now, that I can make it, but I'm going to have to steal some of my hydrogen to do it, and my oxygen, which no, there isn't an endless supply of oxygen here. I'm doing a good job maintaining with these plants. I'm always around 200 moles. And the nitrogen just keeps circling through. I don't need nitrogen for potatoes, so it's not a big deal. So my next goal, as long as everything up here... Oops, let me drink some water. So, now when I started today, 82 liters when I started. I have 82 in there, and 9 in there, 82.6, so we'll say 10, so 92 liters. So just today I'm up 10 liters, and I'm up 92, I'm up from 78 when I started this whole craziness with the heat or the H2 combustor up there. So everything's falling into place. Everything's working. 1, 3, it is closed.
Oxygen low.
Why does it keep doing that? Pressure up. Do I need my... there's no nitrogen in there, so I shouldn't need a nitrogen filter anymore. All the nitrogen's been filtered out of these tanks that I'm using now. I guess it's just being a pain in the butt. Alright, let's see how we're doing up here balance-wise. One last look. 21. It's still going down a tick, but that's okay. 18, so that's still... Alright, let's go up one more. Let's go to 6 and 1, 2. See that, what that makes me here. 865, 3. 837, 850. I wonder if I could squeeze one more out over there. 837, 850. So that's pretty That's about as good as I'm going to get it. And you just not. I'm just not using that much volatiles because I haven't added anything, any potatoes yet because they're not ready. But let me know what you think. I mean, this is working out far better than I thought it would, to be honest with you. Now this might start feeding here pretty soon. I broke down and got. That's not funny. Broke down and got a configuration so I could keep track of it when I did it. So I am currently ratio at 6.65, so that won't kick in yet. It's got to go to 0.6. But that does work. Every time it gets below 0.6, it injects a charcoal in here and keeps it around 6. But I guess that's okay, as long as I don't run out of charcoal. If I run out of charcoal, then I'm not going to be paying attention because, yeah. But the other bad part about it is if I cram this full of charcoal, what's that going to do? It's probably already kind of crammed full of charcoal. There, it just kicked one in. There you go. It just brings it up about 615 depending on the wind speed. There we go. So again, all automated. Okay. I think that'll be it for today. Tomorrow, I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to go with an advanced furnace and make some special orders because I want to do berries, but the berry docks are expensive. Asteroid. Silver, nickel, cobalt. I have some cobalt, so I can do that tier 1. I can't make all of these in tier 1, can I? No. Tier 1, gold, steel. Maybe I don't need tier 2, but I still need the gas mix because I can't get it. Well, that one's cold. I could actually make that one. It'd get tough to get the pressure up that high. I could pump air in, I guess. So, what was the hassle of? That's going to require some heating, so that's going to require some volatiles, astroloy, mega. But I can make them with a tier 1 furnace. I may have to just experiment with that. How far can you go with just tier 1 everything? I thought I would have to have tier 2 to make lyrics, but apparently I don't. Okay. So again, maybe Old Salt Gamer, let me know what you think. I think this is pretty cool. I'm actually having fun on Venus, so I'm doing something right. One more check, just because I'm curious. Oh, gotta swap that back out with it. And I do not have a toolkit yet. I can do that too. 20. So it's still kind of going down. That's kind of going down. It's just a kind of amazing how you keep turning up the heat and it keeps just keeping it cool. 860, 850. 850, 860. So it doesn't matter one way or the other. I turn it up. I'm just surprised how far I can turn this up. To 890, 880 now. If I turn this one up one, it's just going to reverse the numbers again. 880. Oh, look at that. That's really close. And I'm starting to think I may have to turn the volatiles up one up. I could probably make it 64.5. Can you do that on that? I bet you I can. 64.5. Done. Now this will take a little while because all the stuff that's in the pipe yet. But theoretically the volatile should start to creep up. And 720. So this did come back. So now you have to ask yourself, did I go too far? I don't think so. I got 5 degrees to go yet as far as I'm concerned. As long as this number over here stabilizes, which that is going up pretty good. Maybe I should back it back down one. I might have pushed it too fast there. And turning this down is an adventure because of all the wires. Down, down, down. 812, 840. Down. 830, 822, that's close enough. It still doesn't seem like I've... Oh, did I decrease it? I think I did. That was dumb. I went to 64.5, didn't I? Now I'm at 66. I better go back down one. 55.5. It just doesn't seem to change much. Okay, maybe old stock game. Remember to subscribe and like. Maybe I'll, if I get the Larry's set up, maybe I'll come back tomorrow. If not, I may wait a day because not much going on right now. But I'm going to have to expand this out significantly and close all that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Would like to go 2 more wider too, so that won't be too big of a deal. But there you go. Expansion coming up for the Larrys. Hopefully I can make the ores. It's going to be tricky. Turn that off. Yeah, here. 22.9, 23, 45. I did have this up around 50. 23.1, 22. Well, I'll see how that goes, but you see what's happening. Correct me if I'm wrong. The only thing I can think of is why this is cooler than that is because of the condensation system here. So when it condensates into water, it cools. I think that's what it is. 7. Alright. You have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow.